Good morning. Welcome to Daily Focus. And we are in the rest of Second Samuel chapter 3. And we do covet your prayers. My wife and I will be traveling today to do a couples retreat. And we're looking forward to ministering to a sister church and their dear brothers and sisters there, and taking God's word and talking about the amazing design of marriage that God came up with. And boy, man gets in the way thinking he can improve that design or shortcut that design or somehow alter that design. How foolish of man. We might as well just embrace what God did design because it is amazing. So I appreciate your prayers. Here in Second Samuel chapter 3, it's a very interesting conclusion in this chapter. I said yesterday, lots of drama in this chapter, from the start of Abner admitting defeat and realizing, okay, I can battle God, but God's going to win, and God has clearly anointed David to be king. And so he goes to David. David says, okay. Ishbosheth is saying, okay, I understand. I'm not going to be king over Israel. He fears Abner. Abner has been calling the shots. He's the respected leader of Israel anyway. And so God is using this to establish David to what he always had prepared for him. Ishbosheth then is called by David. David demands that he bring Michal, his wife, to him at the weeping of her husband, the one that Saul had tried to get even with David by giving Michal to. And, there's just all this drama. And however, all of that's supposed to play out, like I said, we find out that David has 7 wives, and then he calls for Michal to come back, and now he has 8, and we know he's going to end up with Bathsheba. This is drama without all the rest of the stuff going on between Judah and Israel, and what's going on between the house of Joab and Abishai and Asahel, and what happened with Abner and Asahel. When Asahel was going to make a name for himself, he was going to pursue after Abner. He was going to, be the hero that takes out the enemy's main character. And Abner says, "Don't do this. You might be light of foot, you might be quick, but I've been doing this a long time, and you're just going to die." But Asahel would not acquiesce to that, and Abner killed him. And so here we pick up the story, and Joab comes back and hears that Abner was with David, and he meets with David, and he goes, "Why did you let him leave? And you know he's your number one enemy. Do you not know he was Saul's right hand man pursuing you all of these years?" He didn't have any good in his heart. David, I believe, disagrees. And I believe that David recognized that Abner had experienced defeat, was willing to admit defeat, was willing to acquiesce to the plan of God, the will of God. And Joab is filled with anger and the need for retaliation because Abner killed his brother. And so Joab's wisdom is blurred by all these other things, the drama, as I like to refer to it. And we come to the place where David laments over Abner and says, "Died Abner as a fool dieth." In other words, he is saying to Israel, he didn't have his hands bound, he didn't have his feet bound. He should have known better than to meet privately with Joab, because Joab calls for him And Joab says, "Hey, let me have a private conversation with you over here." And while he's over there, he sticks him through with his sword and kills him. He's not alone, because it makes it clear that Abishai is there as well. And so this was definitely a conspiracy to get him over and to make sure that they got the job done. However that happens, it does say that Joab is the one that pierces him through. And and David says to Joab, "You are not going to escape the judgment of God for what you just did. You kept it secret from me, so I'm not going to own it. I didn't have any part of this decision making. And so therefore the blood is on your head and it's going to follow your family. But as for my house and my life and my kingdom, we're free from this, but you're going to bear the brunt of it, Joab." And David then strategically seeks to win the hearts of Israel. And you can debate all day long, and I don't know that debating motive is really profitable, because how do we really know? Some would say that David truly was sorrowful for How Abner, a hero of Israel, died deceitfully, and why he fell into that trap. It might be that David did not want to assume the kingdom this way. Whatever, you can argue on the side that David was truly sorrowful. But there is the case to be made that he strategically is sorrowful to win the hearts of Israel. But either way, if it's legit or if it's political, the end result was he did win the heart of Israel. And so it says in verse 36, and all the people took notice of it, David's lamenting over the death of Abner, and it pleased them. And whatsoever the king did pleased all the people, for all the people and all Israel understood that day that it was not of the king to slay Abner, the son of Ner. And so the king said to his servants, "Know ye not that there is a prince and a great man fallen this day in Israel?" In other words, he was a wonderful leader. He was a powerful leader, and he was a great warrior. And he recognized that. He at least gave credit to what was legitimately credit. Whether he was honoring him legitimately or just honoring him politically doesn't really matter. The end of the story is simply this, that David wins the heart of Israel, and now he is going to be king over all of Israel. So what is the lesson? The lesson is this: vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. When we get into the rut of personalizing the anger, personalizing the offense that was steered towards someone else and saying, I am going to make them pay, we're gonna do some really foolish things. We're gonna make some foolish decisions. And we need to be able to see the big picture. We need to be able to trust God in the big picture. And sometimes it's not taking matters into our own hands, but really handing it over to the Lord to take care of, and just trusting him that he always does the right thing. And so here we are through a chapter of great drama, but there is a lesson to be learned for all of us. I'll look forward to trying to see you again tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to squeeze it in. It might be in the afternoon because they have a pretty full schedule in the morning of speaking. But I look forward to trying to squeeze that in tomorrow. God bless.